Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. So today we're gonna be doing another spooky look. I'm gonna start off by prepping my eyelids and priming them with my Tarte Shape Tape, and I use the shade medium. I'm just blending that in with my fingers, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just start with the eyeshadow. I'm going in with the Dream Street palette by Kathleen and ColourPop, and I'm gonna use like this reddish orange terracotta kind of shade, and I'm gonna start packing that in the crease. And I did not set the concealer, it is wet, so I'm just gonna it's kind of like setting it, sort of, I don't know, but yeah, I'm just gonna apply that to the crease and start blending it out until it is nice and blended. Next, I'm going to go in with my Morphe 35B palette. Again, this is discontinued, but if you have a similar red shade, you can go ahead and use that. And I'm just going to go right on top of that previous shade that we went in with and just intensify the color even more. And I am bringing this down kind of on the side of my nose, down by the inner corner. Next, I am going to cut the crease, and I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. And this is in the shade 3.5 if anyone was wondering. So yeah, I'm basically just gonna cut my crease. I am using a angled brush by BH Cosmetics, and then I'm gonna go in with this yellow shade in the same Morphe palette, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start by packing that on my lid. And I'm using a smaller, like more precise brush to get on the sharper edges of the cut crease. So yeah. So off camera, I did use both of these foundations to apply my foundation, and I also applied some falsies off camera just to save some time. And now I'm going in with my concealer, and I believe I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm just putting that in the areas that you would normally highlight and blending that out with my Real Techniques sponge. To set everything in place, I'm going to go ahead and use my Laura Geller Baked Foundation Powder, and this is in the shade medium. I'm just using a fluffy brush to set my entire face, and I also did set my under eyes as well with the same powder. Now I'm going in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer just to bronze the entire face, around the temples, forehead, the cheekbones, and I'm going to use a smaller brush with that same bronzer, and I'm going to start defining the nose. I'm not going too heavy on the nose contour, but I do want to define it more than I usually do, so that's just what I'm doing here. Now going in with a black eyeshadow, I'm going to start applying that on my lower lash line, and then I'm gonna go back in with that red shade a little bit and kind of blend it out. And once I get to like the outer corners of my eye, I'm going to wing out that black liner so it can give that cat eye effect type of look, and it should look something like that or whatever. Next, I'm going to go in with my Ben Nye Nose and Scar Wax, and also with some liquid latex, and I did apply some to the back of the wax just so it can adhere a little bit better. If you're not really familiar with like nose and scar wax, I would definitely just use latex because it's a little bit easier. This can be kind of time consuming, and yeah, it's like a little hard to work with if you haven't really worked with it before. But I'm basically just applying it to the face and using like the back of a little spatula thingy and smoothing out the edges, and then right on top of the edges I'm applying liquid latex just so it can stay on. Now I'm gonna take this Makeup Forever liner and start lining my cupid's bow. I am changing the shape a little bit. I am doing more of a pointed cupid's bow than I have, and I'm just gonna line the entire lips, and then after that I'm taking a cream black paint and just kind of fill in the entire lips. Next, going in with the same black cream paint, I'm gonna kind of fill in that slice that I made in the middle of the nose in scar wax and filling that in with the black. I am using a Ben Nye cream paint, and this is also a Ben Nye brush as well. I'm just doing this just to add some depth. You could just use red, but I think the black just adds a little bit more. And then I'm going over it with red. I'm adding the red more to the edges of the cut, kind of. And then I'm also adding red around the wound area just so it can blend in a little bit better and so that it won't look so like obvious. Next, I'm going to take this fake blood, and this is in the kind of like gel formula, or is that the word? I don't know. And I'm just going to apply that on the inside of the wound as well as on the outside, again, just to blend everything a little bit better. If you do have the kind of scar, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a different type of blood. I would definitely use that for the inside just because it has a little bit more texture, so I think that would definitely be a lot better for this look. So yeah, I'm applying a generous amount around the mouth area as well, and I'm going to bring that on the bottom kind of chin area as well. Then I'm going to go in with this brush and I just dip into the red cream paint and add a little bit of black and just make a small circle on my nose, and I'm going to define the circle with this Ben Nye brush and dipping that into the black face paint as well. And then going in with another brush, I'm just going to apply the smallest bit of blood on top as well. Next, moving on to the under eyes, I'm going to kind of create these teardrop effects. You can make them as long or as short as you want. I'm just creating some jagged lines basically. Next, I'm going to take this white base kind of highlighter and apply that to the inner corners on the bridge of my nose and on the side of my nose as well, and on the cupid's bow, just to define that a little bit more. And I'm going to highlight with this Anastasia A23 brush as well, just to, I don't know, make it a little more glam, since we do have some glam on the eyes as well. And I'm going to highlight the lip area, the cupid's bow, and the bottom lip as well. And I also did highlight the nose and the under eyes as well. I am also taking some yellow eyeshadow and applying that right on top of the tears that we created, just to kind of tie in the look with the under eyes as well. So just to deepen up the teardrops that we created, I'm going over them with some black liquid liner, and this one is by Wet n Wild. And yeah guys, that is a finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.